Hello, my name is Jordan Crouser, and today I'll be talking about some of the ways in which individual differences impact how people use visual aids to support analytic reasoning. This work is part of an ongoing collaboration between the Human Computation and Visualization Laboratory at Smith College and the Visual Data Analysis Group at Washington University in St. Louis. First, a little background. Over the past decade, visualization research has started to recognize that one-size-fits-all interfaces often don't fit all that well. There is a growing body of research on how individual differences in personality and cognitive factors might influence how people interact with visualization. Check out our STAR for a comprehensive survey. In particular, several studies have documented that locus of control, the degree to which a person believes themselves to be in control of events that happen in their lives, can impact things like speed, accuracy, search strategy, number of insights, and subjective preference for some visual metaphors over others. There's just one problem. In order to explore these phenomena across a sufficiently large population, many early studies, including our own prior work, had to severely constrain both the visualization environment and the task. This makes our results hard to generalize to what people actually do in the real world. In the summer of 2019, a partnership with the Laboratory for Analytic Sciences at North Carolina State University provided a unique opportunity. Dozens of trained intelligence analysts from the U.S. Navy Reserve volunteered to participate in a 2-day exercise to explore whether our previous findings would hold under more realistic conditions. Reservists were first asked to complete a battery of assessments measuring various dimensions of personality and cognitive ability. In this talk, we'll focus just on locus of control. After this initial information was collected, participants received a short briefing outlining the study task, which was based on the VAST Challenge 2014. They were presented with a kidnapping scenario involving employees at a fictitious company, and were asked to uncover the organizational structure of the group responsible for the kidnapping by analyzing several related synthetic data sources. Email headers from internal company emails spanning 2 consecutive weeks, employee records, resumes, and short biographies of many of the company's employees, historical reports and descriptions of the countries involved, and current and historical news reports from multiple domestic and translated foreign sources. Each participant was given a laptop and access to a web-based application through which they were able to explore the data. A central area displayed detailed information about a single data element, with tabs corresponding to the 4 information types. A search widget accepted both date ranges and generic text entry, and could also be used to specify more complex filter commands via a simplified query language. A list view displayed the metadata for items matching the current filter parameters, and an interactive scratchpad let participants record user-generated entities and the connections between them. As participants analyzed the data, their interactions with both the interface and Google Docs provided for note-taking were logged and categorized. Each time the participant issued a new query, we recorded a search action. Whenever she clicked on a specific data item, we recorded a get detail action. Edit notes actions were recorded whenever a participant typed in their Google Doc, and add element and add connection actions were recorded whenever a participant interacted with the scratchpad. We started by trying to get a sense for the distribution of these actions over time throughout the participants' engagement with the task. Here, each tick represents a recorded action color-coded by action type. As one might expect, search and get detail actions dominate the majority of analysts' early interactions as they work to establish a baseline. These are punctuated by varying degrees of documentation, predominantly through edit notes actions recorded by Google Docs. We also observed that some participants had substantially higher or lower than average interaction volume. Let's dig into this a bit deeper. Participants with a more internal locus of control tended to perform more distinct actions than those whose locus of control was more external. Though our sample size is too small to validate these observations statistically, our analysis revealed the same correlation between the number of interactions and participants' locus of control across all 3 primary action types. This observation begs the question: when participants perform more interactions overall, are they covering a larger area of the data, or are they returning to the same data repeatedly? The near-perfect linear trend implies that across all participants and regardless of locus of control, roughly half of all getDetail actions involve a previously unvisited data element. However, participants with a more internal locus of control tend to visit more unique data elements, covering a larger area within the dataset in the same amount of time, and explaining their increased interaction volume. We also observed a common pattern of data visiting behavior with respect to specific data elements. 9 of the 22 participants clicked sequentially through the first 5 articles that appear at the top of the results list when the system is initially accessed, or when all filters are cleared. Similar patterns were observed for other data types, suggesting that participants use clicking down the list of results in order to get their bearings. Participants with a more internal locus of control were more likely to perform a click-down sequence on the unfiltered data early in their investigation, whereas those with a more external locus of control tended to perform this sequence later and more frequently. This suggests that those with a more external locus of control might be using the interface as a way to reorient their analysis after taking a break or hitting a dead end. The preliminary results of these exercises demonstrate that there does appear to be a relationship between locus of control and expert behavior on complex analytical tasks. At a higher level, our findings underscore the importance of teasing apart how individual differences influence analytical behavior. Features like the ordering of unfiltered data items are not inherently meaningful, but in the absence of other cues, some users may be more inclined to rely on these features to guide their analysis. A better understanding of the mechanics behind these tendencies is one small step toward adaptive, flexible design. But the best part? This analysis is only the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to explore. You can check out the full anonymized dataset along with our preliminary analysis at the URL on your screen, or by following the link in our paper. Thanks for listening.